What up, everybody? Hey, look, I want to talk about time frames today. You know, I get asked this question probably 100 times a week. Like, how long will it take for my credit to recover? That answer is totally up to you. You know, your credit recovers when you want it to recover. You know, you got to work on rebuilding credit. I think what people don't understand is that rebuilding credit is just as important as removing the negative items. Then you got to look at, okay, what is on my credit? You know, I talk to several people a week and they rarely can remember what's on their credit. And you know, what I realized is that you got to take your credit very, very seriously. You got to be able to look at it and be able to figure out what's on it, where it came from, if it got sold, who did it get sold to, and then how do I fix it? You know, and what are my options? Okay, this is another good one. What are my options of going to fix it? So, you know, you can settle with your creditors. You can fight with your creditors. You know, if they wanted to take you to court, that's the place I would actually show up really fast, because most of the time you're gonna win. And then I would answer the phone at all times when they call. Another helpful hint is record the calls. If they record you, why not record them? Because you might be able to catch them slipping if they say something crazy or call you at an inappropriate time, even an inappropriate place, you know, because you got to realize you have a lot of rights. And I think what you guys got to do is focus on your rights, focus on, you know, the things that you can do to fight back and be able to clear your credit report. And let's go back to time frame where we started. The time frame is up to you. You know, if you start to build credit, you start to get secured cards, and you're able to build, you know, a secured card where it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Guess what? They're gonna offer you a secured card. So the same amount of money that you're spending anyway, why not just get credit for it? You know, I got so many people that spend money monthly, whether it's rent, gas. I mean, gas is a big one now. So, you know, rent, gas, whatever, start getting credit for that by using a secured card or using something that's gonna take you to the next level as far as you're gonna be able to use your spending. And I see so many people that don't use what they're already spending. If you're spending the money anyway, why not get credit for it? You know, take the money that you're spending and be able to at least get credit for all the spending that you're doing, because you're going to spend the money anyway. And don't tell me, well, I don't like to use credit. I want to use cash. That kind of doesn't make any sense. You know, with all the points program, all the things that they're doing to encourage you to use your credit, I would start using it. I would read more, get educated, you know, do more financial literacy. And what I'm, you know, really getting frustrated on when I talk to people is that the time frame is up to you. You know, a credit score is more like a behavioral score. It reacts to how you behave. If you pay on time, it reacts good. If you don't pay on time, it reacts bad. So what you got to realize is you have to watch your behavior. You have to watch your habits. And then you got to figure out, what am I going to do to increase my credit score? Let's go over that. So you got setting up accounts like Rent Reporters, Boom. You got accounts like a secured card. You got, you can go to get Credit One, First Premier. I mean, I can name these accounts all day. You got several things that you can go and start. But if you haven't made up your mind to pay on time, then it's not going to work out well. And that's what I'm here to tell you. You got to make sure that you're ready and that you're going to pay on time and that you keep those habits right, because that's what's going to determine what you need to do as far as keeping your scores up, because that's the main thing. You know, if you're not building credit, if you're not working towards establishing an on-time payment record, then you might as well stop wasting your time. It's not going to work out. You know, but if you guys need help, you want to talk about starting your business, you want to make a plan for what do I do with my credit, all you got to do is pick up that phone, call us at 770-578-46 4165, and we'll do what we can do to help you get going that way. But the thing I would encourage everybody that's listening to this is, if you're wondering what the time frame is, the time frame is now, and also the time frame is building your credit. Don't procrastinate anymore. Right now with all these smartphones, obviously you're on a smartphone. If you're watching this, all you got to do is get on YouTube. Start looking for programs like Chime. I mean, I can sit here and name them for days. It's several things that you can start to build credit. Now, you're going to say, well, if I get a hard inquiry, don't that hurt my credit? Yes, it may drop your credit a point or two, but getting that new account that's going to help you build credit could raise your score 30 to 50 points. Because if you don't have any credit, it's hurting you. Credit is all about building credit. And guess what? It takes money to be able to get access to credit. You're going to have to go to your bank, ask your credit union, wherever you deposit your check. Just ask them, look, what do I got to do? What kind of credit builder programs do you have? Because I want to build my credit. I want to get myself to that next level. And just ask them, like, what do I have to do to be able to build my credit, get myself in a better position? And what programs do you have available? Is it a secured card? Is it unsecured card with a certain amount? And then set up those accounts. Try to get 2 to 3 of those accounts. Figure out what you got to do to set them up, and then start working on them. Because sitting around not doing anything, guess what? You're going to be in the same position. What's up, twin baby? Sitting around not doing anything, you're going to be in the same exact position. You're not going to build credit. So, if you're going to make a goal, the year is halfway over. We're already in June. We're in the middle of June. So if you're setting goals for this year, you got to get on it. And getting on it means whatever obstacle is in your way, do the research to figure out, what do I have to do to get this item removed? What do I got to do to get this out of my way? And if you continue to do your research, YouTube, read, Google, we got so much information at our fingertips that we don't use. And I'm telling you, the answer to your question probably is right in your hand right now. This telephone can get you to the information that you actually need to get you to the next step. So if anybody has any questions, put y'all questions below. What's up, twin baby? Says, please send me over. That doc when you get a moment. I appreciate it. Okay. Sounds good. But yeah, if you guys got any other questions, put those questions below. Let us know what we can do to help you guys. If you need to talk a little more, call us at 770-578-4165. Another thing I want you guys to do is look at your credit. I got so many people that they want to talk to me about their credit, but they actually don't know what's on their credit. And that's so important to us because, yes, would I love to hear your story? Yes, we love to hear your story. But I can't help you until I'm able to look at your credit. So if I'm able to look at your credit, able to give you the reasons why you're having problems, the reasons why your score is low, if I see it, then I can give you better answers. But if we're just talking, you telling me, well, I got divorced, I lost my job during COVID. I mean, I get all of that. That happens. I'm not minimizing your story or saying it wasn't bad, what you went through. But if I can actually see the items on your credit report, then I'm able to give you faster answers to what you're able to do. And here are things that you can already start thinking about. The things that you need to start thinking about is, do I want to settle with my creditors? If I'm at the point where they're taking me to court, do I want to go to court? If I'm at the point where they're going to garnish my check, what are my rights? If they're calling me at the wrong time, what are my rights? Am I recording the call? You can record the call just like they record you. So think about all of these things. Am I going to settle? Have I disputed yet? Am I going to use credit repair? Am I going to fight this in court? think about all of these things because these are your options. And I know, and I just wanted to say this because the first time I ever had issues with credit, I didn't know what my rights were. I had no idea what I could do, how I could fight back. It just, I didn't know. And then my family members weren't able to tell me. So I was kind of stuck in a position like, wow, what do I do? The first thing I would tell you is when a creditor or a collection agency calls you, answer the phone. And if you have to, call them back so you can record the call and then think about it, because sometimes those phone calls happen so quick and it's so much said and you don't understand that you get off the phone and it feels like a blur. But get back on the phone, record it. Actually record the call. You can tell them if you want to, hey, I'm recording this call too. And then ask the questions that you want to ask. Write down, if you get off the phone and you forget, write down the questions that you need to ask and call them back. I think all of this revolves around communication. You got to communicate with the lenders or the creditors, and even the creditors that are third party. Ask them, do you have the contract? Do I have a contract with you? Ask a third party lender, do I have a contract with you? If not, ask them, how are you able to collect on this and you don't have a contract with me? Can you validate this debt? Ask questions, and I think that's how you get empowered when you're asking questions and you're trying to figure out, what do I do to get my credit in a better space? And I think asking questions a lot of times helps. And then if you have situations where you got a cell phone bill or an internet bill and they're not responding correctly, where if you sent back equipment and they're charging you for equipment that you already sent back. I went through that twice, once with T-Mobile and once with AT&T, where I actually sent the router back and they were saying that I still owed them. And I'll never forget, Gloria and I were in New York and they put it on my credit and I actually had sent them the router back already. So realize when you're in situations like that, you actually have rights. If you got third party collection agencies trying to collect and you feel that you don't owe them, ask them, how are you able to collect on me and you don't even have a contract with me? I never did an application with you. I never applied with you. So how are you able to collect any money from me? And then if they're calling you, record the calls. And then when you're thinking about time frame, like, hey, I want to buy this house or I want to do this, you can't ask a credit repair company or somebody helping you with your credit to predict the future, because that's what you're doing. You're asking them to predict the future. I can't do it. I don't have the ability to predict the future. But I can tell you, if you start working on your credit now, if you get yourself in position to get in a better position, then guess what? Your credit will get better sooner than later. And a lot of times when you make up your mind, I know me, when I make up my mind to do something, it seems to start happening faster, and it seems to get me the information that I need, or the people that I need to talk to appear in my life, or the books I need to read come up in my feed, or the ebooks or the videos or on my computer. So sometimes speak it into existence. Start speaking into existence that, hey, I want my credit to be in a better position. I want to be able to buy a house or buy a car, start a business. Now open yourself up so where you can make those things happen, and then answer the phone. There's nothing wrong with having a conversation with a collection agency. They're not going to eat you and you're not going to jail. Just figure out how are you guys able to buy my debt and then collect from me, but I never did any business with you guys. How are you able to do that? Can you send me some paperwork showing me legally that you're able to do that? And hey, if you want to go to court, answer them. Make sure you answer whatever it is that they're alleging, because that's what it could be. It could be allegedly they say you owe a debt that you may not owe. So defend yourself. Get yourself in position where you can start fighting back, where you get financially empowered, where you're able to work on these things and not worry about these things coming back to haunt you or you owe them. Because a lot of times you got to remember, with just a regular dispute with credit repair, the item gets removed, but the debt could still be lingering. I've seen so many times where somebody wanted credit repair so bad, they got the items removed, they got ready to go to closing or buy a car, and the items reappeared because they got sold to somebody else. So remember these choices that I'm giving you. You can settle with the creditor. You got to do credit repair either way. So you can settle with the creditor. You can take the creditor to court. They can take you to court. You can fight back. But remember, with credit repair, the items are, being removed from your credit, but it doesn't get rid of the debt. Credit repair is not debt elimination. It just kind of gets you in a situation where your credit score doesn't have any negative items. But what about if these people continue to sell your debt? They continue to come after you. Now you've never really gotten rid of the debt. I think you really want to work on, hey, I need to remove this debt, get myself in a situation where not only it's off my credit, but I don't owe the debt. That makes a big difference. So you got to look at your situation, figure out what you're going to do, make a plan of action. You can do it yourself if you wanted to. If you have the time, you have the consistency and the endurance to do it, because cleaning up your credit is not an easy task. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, it just magically happens. No, it takes work. And then it takes a lot of reading, because you got to read the responses that they give you. You got to communicate with the lenders. Even if you don't want to communicate with the collection agencies by phone because you may be a little intimidated, ask them to email you. Think about it today. They can text you, they can email you, they can call you. You could even do it by letters. It's so many ways to do this thing. You just got to figure out what makes it easier for you. What do you have to do? But start off by looking at your credit. I just put the link right there. Start off by looking at your credit. Start off by figuring out, what do I have to do to get myself in a better position? Because interest rates are going up. That means that car prices, the financing of cars and the financing of houses is going to get more expensive, which means you got to get a smaller house or a less expensive car. So think about all of the things that that you want and that you have as goals, and figure out, make a plan of, how do I get these things? How do I go about getting myself in position to have the things that I really want? And I think more than anything, most people just got to sit back and figure out, what do I got to do to get myself in position to buy this house or get this car? And you can't put all the pressure on, oh, I'm going to get credit repair and they're going to clean me up. I'm here to tell you, you might get some items removed off your credit, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't owe the debt. That's the part that you got to be very, very, very careful with, because they can sell this debt over and over. I just had somebody text me saying that they're still fighting the debt that was back in the early, 2012, 2013. So they're still fighting something that could be 6, 7, 8, 10 years old. So you got to make sure that either you settle with these companies or you get it removed and you go to court and you just get it totally wiped out. So figure out your choices. If you need to talk to us, make sure that you give us a call. I'm gonna make sure I put our number up here so you guys got it. But give us a call, talk through these situations, look at your credit, figure out what you got to do, make a plan to get it done. Because if you don't make a plan, then you're just going in circles. You're just floating around in circles. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Figure out what your plan is and how you're going to get to the plan. And then stop trying to, make somebody else responsible for something that you did. If it's something that when you went through a bad time, okay, I get it. You might have lost your job, could have been sick, Corona, the pandemic. That's okay. But don't ask somebody else, how long is it going to take? Nobody can predict the future like that. If you guys want to start working on it, make up your mind to work on it. Don't worry about the time frame. Just worry about that you're going to get up every day and work towards your goal, because that's the biggest thing. If you got a goal, you can't make somebody else responsible for you reaching your goals. You got to do what you got to do. You got to stop procrastinating. You got to get yourself in position where you got a security card or two. You don't have to stop at one. You can get 2 or 3 security cards where you can actually get yourself in position where your revolving credit starts to go up, which means when you go to get a Capital One, an Amex, a Discover, now you're going to get a decent limit. You're not just going to get a very low limit where you got a $300 limit. That you can't even buy gas right now with $300. You fill up 2 cars, you probably have $125 a piece. So get these limits higher. That's what's going to help your credit score. Figure out what you got to do, because I'm telling you, if they start to raise interest rates, I was an adult in an era where there were 9, 10, 12% interest rates, and that was normal. And my mother told me about a time when there were 19 and 20% interest rates. It was like predatory lending. So if you guys want 5, 6% interest rates, and guess what? We'll probably be talking in 2 months and it's going to be 7 or 8 because they're going to raise the rates again in July. So I'm telling y'all, work on your credit, figure out what you got to do. Because if you haven't been through a situation where your credit is going up, your interest rates are going up, you're going to watch how things are going to start to rise. Prices are going to start to rise. So you got to really sit down and think about this, because I'm telling you, the interest rates on houses and cars and credit cards are going to increase in the next couple months. And you got to figure out, what are you going to do to get yourself in a house, in a car, start that business. You got to figure these things out. So I'm just giving y'all something to think about. Y'all want to holler at us, call us, 770-578-4165. We got plenty of people waiting to talk to you, to help you through this situation. Pick up the phone, baby. Pick up the phone, and I'm going to holler at y'all. Talk to y'all later.